Hey there, everybody. Matt Carter here.
And Jessica Carter from CARTERMATT.com.
And this is The Masked Singer, Episode 2. Reaction, spoilers, theories, discussion. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about here, including...
Who is the panda?
Yes, who is the panda? Revealed. It is the reveal that we all should have saw coming a mile away before the mask was even put on, and yet...
Here I am being wrong.
Here we both are being wrong. Here are the two of us just being
wrong.
completely just out of our minds for the entirety of this performance. But before we talk about just how incredibly silly the two of us are, and then also talk about hopefully better guesses for everyone else tonight, if you like this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more Masked Singer discussions for the rest of this season. Let us start though with the reveal that float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. As it turns out, it's Laila Ali.
Yeah. I was thrown off by all the other clues that made me feel like tennis. I was also feeling like a Venus or Serena Williams. There was so much that felt like tennis, but then once it was revealed, that little bee that went by, all the winning and champs and this, I mean, it all makes sense.
I think what threw us off, I think there were a couple of things that threw us off. Number one, I think, was the word match that they kept using.
That really threw me off. And now I feel like it's the show's fault because they kept repeating that word over and over again. No, I'm just kidding. But that was the word.
Well, if we learned anything from The Masked Singer tonight, it's that nobody really watches boxing enough in America anymore. Because you think match, I think the first thing that came to mind was tennis, which is why you probably thought Venus Williams.
Yeah.
And, I thought, okay, maybe it's Maria Sharapova. I know she's really tall.
Yeah.
Or I thought, okay. Then from there, I was like, oh, could it be soccer? Because they call soccer games matches a lot. At least if I think so. So, I mean, could it have been possibly Alex Morgan, someone from, the Women's World Cup team? They're big champions. They're at the top of their game. And I went through all of that. And yet, here it was, right in front of our faces the whole time.
Boxing match.
Yeah, and famous father, that was clear in the montage. We just happened to forget that Muhammad Ali was like one of the most famous athletes of all time. So really good job. Let's pat ourselves on the back for that.
But to be fair, all the judges got it wrong. I know that Robin threw it out, but he threw it out as a joke, so it doesn't count. You don't count, Robin.
No, that's the title of this video now. You don't count, Robin. No, I think, though, really, the thing that we should have remembered, and this is what I need to just coin now as the CARTERMATT rule of reality television.
Yeah.
When trying to figure out a contestant on a celebrity-based reality show, odds are it's going to be a celebrity who has been on other celebrity-based reality shows before.
Absolutely.
And Laila Ali, I can't even count how many times I've seen her on other shows. I think she was on Dancing with the Stars. I
think so.
She might have been on Celebrity Apprentice. I know that she's been on a number of other reality shows before. So, all of America, this is your chance to laugh at us for being so off base with this. Now, let's get to everything else, because we do have 3 other masked characters to discuss here.
Okay, well, let's start with the Black Widow, because we both have the same guess on this, and I feel like all of America has the exact same guess on this, except for the judging panel, and I don't know, man. Like, the clues feel very obvious on who this is, and if you listen to her performance, and then you go and listen to this other person's performance of who we think it is, their voices are identical.
We're doing this one right now mostly to make ourselves feel better for just how terribly off we were on Laila Ali, because we feel good about this guess.
Oh, but don't worry. There are more terrible guesses coming, at least for me.
This is our chance to make... This is just trying to give us a boost so we can make it through the rest of this video.
Yes.
But we think it's Raven-Symoné.
Yeah.
And I think there are many a reason why. I think the thing that kept being the dead giveaway was her just kept talking about how she's known for being something a little bit lighter and that this is her dark side.
Yeah, and she's got Cosby Show and Dr. Dolittle and...
That's So Raven and Raven's Home and...
Yes, very sort of squeaky clean TV image here. So here we are now with the darker, edgier side of this Black Widow.
The thing that I think, if I'm still curious about something here, it's that they kept sort of talking about reels and director's cuts. Mm-hmm. Is Raven-Symoné a director?
Well, it might not necessarily be about her being a director, but she may have had something to do with a director's cut or something. And you did mention the Empire thing while we were watching the show, that she's been on an episode of Empire, and she mentioned that was a clue. It's you, Raven. We know it's you. We love you. I'm very excited that it's her.
I went through a journey watching this video and watching the performance because at first she started talking about Empire. I was like, okay, it's Taraji. She's talking about the acting
there was
leads.
Lots of people talking about that.
And that was just sort of like, okay, this makes sense. Taraji's on Fox. We all know her as a wonderful actress. This is her chance to show something different. But then it was sort of like, I'm showing a dark side. I've seen Cookie do some very dark side stuff on Empire through 5 seasons. I don't know if this necessarily qualifies to be Taraji anymore.
Yeah.
If there are some other clues that start coming out, I don't know where they would go. But here's the big question. If this is Raven-Symoné, how angry is she that Ricki Lake was the Raven last year? Because she could have been the Raven, and that would have been hilarious.
No, but that would have given way too much away.
Didn't we see Ninja last week? They basically wrote, I am Ninja on the ice cream guy's costume.
Absolutely they did, but I don't think they want to go too on the nose. I know the Penguin's not on this episode, but if he comes out and he's not Robin Lord Taylor, how mad are we all going to be? If we're going by...
Just a little bit.
If we're all going by what you're thinking, that Raven should be the Raven, and Robin Lord Taylor's got to be the Penguin, because who else is going to be the Penguin besides maybe Danny DeVito? But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think they want to give us a lot of clues. There's enough there, like the bee thing, but sometimes those clues just buzz right by. You see what I did there?
Yes. Thank you. That was a Matt Carter level pun. Okay.
Yes, it was.
Let's go now to the part that we're completely clueless on, or we have guesses. They may not be great guesses, but they're guesses nonetheless. Let us talk about the Leopard, who I feel like from the moment we saw the Leopard is fantastic. Let's get that out of the way first and foremost. Really wonderful costume.
That costume is gorgeous. And I want to say that too about the Black Widow. And I know you hate spiders, but the costumes this season, I mean, the costumes last season were amazing, but the costumes this season, next level, raise the bar. The Leopard's costume is incredible.
The costume is incredible. The vocal is incredible. I mean, I was not to really just be negative about the Black Widow, who is clearly a very good singer. I actually would have said that the Leopard was better than the Black Widow vocally.
Yes, I agree, but it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
Like the Black Widow is incredible. Whoever Raven is, the singer, incredible. But the Leopard's performance was real. I couldn't believe that he was there. I mean, it was hard because it was tough. It was tough.
This was not a good week for the Panda because everyone else was a really good singer.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's go through some of what we know here about the Leopard. The Leopard is someone who seems to be reasonably famous. It seems like they have had a career in the spotlight. They're known for more of a celebrity sort of angle of things right now.
Yep.
More so than who they necessarily are.
Yep.
This is a chance to sort of show that off a little bit.
Yep.
They're someone who obviously has a flair. They like to be in character. They like to perform. They really are embracing this in a way, that we don't see all that time from Masked Singer people. Consummate performer.
Absolutely. And for me, as soon as I heard the voice, it sealed the deal for me that it is Seal. And one of the clues that they gave away was that Queen taught him to be a lady. And one of the things that Seal has done is he's performed with Queen for a tribute for Freddie Mercury. So I feel like there's a lot of threads there. He said he was now more famous for headlines and stuff, and there's a lot that's in the news about his relationship and stuff like that. So I feel like there are enough clues there that hold my theory together with that beautiful voice.
If we end up seeing the Leopard go far enough and performing the same night as the Flower, who we've yet to meet, but we know the Flower is coming.
Yep.
If the Flower kisses the Leopard, is it a kiss from a rose?
That was the other clue. Okay, so when the Leopard left the stage, I almost forgot this.
I didn't even mean to do anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nick said, "Oh, you got a kiss from the Leopard." And then I was like, and here we are.
Okay, see, I think Seal is a good guess. And I'm going to have a different guess, but I think Seal is a good guess. Seal also is well known for doing costume parties when he was in a relationship with Heidi Klum. So I think there's a lot of groundwork there. The thing, and I do not believe this is right, because the Leopard seemed to be very tall. I mean, the Leopard up there in height. Like, the RuPaul guess was a good guess, but at the same time, it feels almost too obvious that it's RuPaul. And I think, because RuPaul, we've seen RuPaul sort of be this sort of character before on stage in some way. So to me, I think I was kind of going, okay, who else is a really good singer, who loves wearing big elaborate costumes? I thought Cee Lo Green. Cee Lo, really, really good singer.
Yeah.
Loves wearing elaborate outfits. I think Cee Lo would get into character. And I know Seal loves wearing costumes, but I don't know if Seal likes playing characters. Like, I don't know if Seal has that flair of a dramatic to me.
I feel like he does, especially with some of his outfit choices in the past. I feel like that flair for the dramatic is absolutely there. And one of the things that they also mentioned in the package for the Leopard was that this costume was built to hide the frame of who is underneath it, which I think they also did basically with the Panda as well. It was very difficult. A lot of these costumes, it is very difficult to figure out. Is someone really tall? Is someone really short? For a long time, everybody thought that he was a woman coming out onto the stage before he started to sing. And so then kudos again to the costume department. It was throwing us all off. But yeah, I think that Cee Lo is actually pretty solid guess.
If I'm to go back to season 1 of The Masked Singer, I do like it when they do this, where they sort of mask somebody because, no pun intended, because like T-Pain, it was so hard to figure out the monstrous T-Pain because that was such a big bulky costume and it could have really been anyone. And that's where I think they are doing the Leopard really, really right. I think it would be funny if it is someone like Jamie Foxx, like it was suggested. Like, what if it was like Denzel or like just some like really, really random person who is an actor, and maybe that's why they're getting into the character so much. But you're either really right or we're like really lost in the wilderness with the Leopard and we don't actually know anything at all. So it's all possible at the moment with the Leopard.
Okay, well, now we're going to talk about the Flamingo, and all my guesses are wrong. I cannot figure this out for the life of me, and I feel very embarrassed saying that, considering that they were like, oh, ZooTube, and it sounds like a makeup beauty influencer, and I watch those videos all the time. I watch Toddy Westbrook, who can sing. I watch Jeffree Star, who can sing his recorded albums. Jackie Anaya is who I'm actually thinking it might be. I'm not sure if she can sing. I feel like maybe. I just don't know. I mean, James Charles thinks that he can sing, so there's that.
Okay.
But I don't think it's him either.
All right. Well, while we're running from the James Charles Army now, let's talk a little bit about what we know about the Flamingo. This is someone who has YouTube, like you have said.
Yeah.
Has done a lot with YouTube. Seems to be very, very popular with that. Beauty influencer. But the thing that I think is making a lot of these guesses more confusing to me is that it doesn't sound like this was sort of their first career. It sounds like something went really off the rails. And, you know, if I'm thinking about, a Jeffree Star or Toddy or some of these other people. Granted, I'm not as familiar with a lot of YouTubers as you are, so I don't really know what these people did before that.
Yeah, but these people have not. Well, Jeffree has sort of had his controversy or falls out of grace or whatever, but he's not there right now. Right now, he's on top of his game. Toddy had a big scandal this year with James and Jeffree and all these different things that went on, but she's fine now too. And same with James Charles. He had a really hard year this year, but he's doing really great too. So they're all still doing all right on YouTube. I am clueless. If anybody can tell me who the flamingo is, please leave it in the comments. Help me out. Help a girl out.
Okay, see, don't tell me if you have the spoilers. I don't want to know exactly who it is.
I want your guesses.
Okay.
Yes, if you actually happen to know who it is, don't tell us who it is. But if you have guesses that are better than mine, which they will be, definitely leave them below. Help a girl out.
This is tough. This is really tough because the way that they were sort of presenting the flamingo and the way that it all kind of was brought together to me, it did sound like it was somebody who was probably in a girl group at some point, who somewhere along the way kind of found a sense of independence and found something else that they really, really love to do. And I'm still thrown for a loop, but I was sort of thinking, okay, they mentioned Florida, and I know a lot of people from Fifth Harmony are from Florida. And, I know that some of them have been active, on reality shows. There are multiple, they are all found on a reality show and X Factor. So I kind of am leaning a little bit towards Lauren Jareggi from Fifth Harmony, but at the same, because I know she's from Florida, I know she can obviously sing. Maybe she's finding a new sort of lease on life outside of the group. But at the same time, the YouTube stuff is totally throwing me off. And then it's also if I remember right, it's been a long time since I've seen Fifth Harmony on a stage together. I thought Lauren was one of the taller ones, and it feels to me that the flamingo is pretty short. At least that's the way she looked on stage. It looked like she wasn't very tall.
It's hard to tell with these costumes because it's here's the big head and the big beak, but then you see the mouth is down here, or sometimes it's up here. It's hard to. Those costumes, man, they'll trip you up.
Well, it is going to be tough figuring out all of these, but I think that is the fun of The Masked Singer. We do not know. Maybe you guys have better guesses than us, but I think we have one final beef here to present, and this is, why are you criticizing the panda for being bad at singing?
Yeah, we need to talk about that. And it's bad because I feel like Nicole did not mean that to sound the way that it did. When it came out, you could immediately see on her face that she was like, that's not exactly what I meant. I think she was trying to give the compliment to Queen Latifah, who can sing. Yeah. But I don't think she meant it as the insult to the panda who can't sing, but it was.
I would not insult Laila Ali, who can box. That is just my feeling on this sort of thing. Yeah. I feel like that's something you see that unmasking happen, and it's Laila Ali, you're just like, oh no, I made a terrible mistake. And then you just sprint out of the studio as fast as humanly possible. But we have shared our thoughts. Some of them good, maybe, some of them really bad. But we want to know from you guys. Give us your theories. Give us your thoughts. Give us your non-spoiler predictions for everyone on The Masked Singer Season 2.
Yeah, if you really know, don't leave your spoilers below. Let's have this be really fun all season long for all of us.
All right, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us more by checking out the link in the description to the CARTERMATT store, and we'll see you here next time.